bad, immoral, and wrong.
This is the Modern Eater Show.
Piping hot and delicious.
The Modern Eater.
Food, 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 food. Come and get it.
And now your hosts, Greg Hollenbeck,
Your mics are hot.
Ryan Freeman.
Welcome to the Modern Eater Show, live from Studio Kitchen, Colorado. I have no idea how restaurants survive. It's such a tough climate in the world. The costs, the profit margins being so low, so many staffing issues. It is a nightmare unless you've got your poop in a group, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. I'm alongside of Bryan Freeman. Hello and welcome.
Hello. Good evening.
Greg Hollenbeck, Jay Parker, Little Rich Snyder, Dave Avery here with us, extraordinary sound guy. Back at the board is Don, and then we have a new intern, guys. It's George Kenyon's here with us as well. Richie, you're looking dapper as always.
You know what? It feels good to be home. I feel like we're on home court, and this is where we do our best.
Studio Kitchen,
This is gonna
Colorado.
be a blast.
Home of the Modern Eater Network. Tonight's show, it's a big show. And just a reminder, we're streaming live on Facebook. You can get the Facebook value. Love watching the videos, right?
Soon to be YouTube as well.
Yeah, the YouTube right now, not soon. We're broadcasting live on YouTube, Periscope, and Twitter. The easiest way to find it, Rich, go to the Modern
Go to themoderneater.com, and it's real easy to find.
Yeah, you just go to the show link, and there it is, live on YouTube, pops up. Watch it on YouTube, and, of course, all the replays on Facebook and YouTube as well. Kenny, make sure you don't make any noise here in the kitchen. You can make noise. We actually have a live studio audience. Let's make it.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Yes.
It's a great studio audience. And coming up in the next segment, it's a new segment that we have here in the kitchen. It's called New to the Network. And New to the Network is such a cool thing because we love to meet new people, Brian.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Who's someone new that you met tonight?
Oh, let's talk about that. And actually, I meet all of these people that come, so that's the hard thing. Who is new tonight? Okay, come on now. He's
He
throwing me
doesn't
on.
remember names.
It's Michael, for sure. Michael, he hooked me up with
There's
a little.
no one named Michael in the house.
There's not a Michael in the house? No. Okay. So I didn't meet anyone new then.
Next segment, new to the network. You're going to meet new people.
That's what this is about.
Yeah, and so are you guys. I love this new segment idea because truly growing the Modern Eater Network's what it's all about. It's a community, and you know how much we love Colorado. You know how much we love the culinary community. You know how much we love beer and spirits and the folks that work within. But, again, it's a tough drive with that. So we're going to check out a new brand. It's a hot sauce brand, and I can't wait to check in with this because on the show is going to be Michelle Davidson from Cooper's Small Batch Hot Sauce. And we met up with these guys at the Colorado Restaurant Association restaurant show.
Yes.
And we fell in love with their hot sauce. I have so many hot sauces in my with their help as well in my refrigerator. Can you have too many hot sauces?
Never.
Maybe I'm
Never.
asking the wrong guy with Brian.
No, listen, hot sauce kills me. I still get it every time I'm
literally
out.
probably
Yeah.
15 different varieties of hot sauce.
It's like new love. It just makes you sweat and
Yeah.
all these different things.
You know, Taco Tuesday, forget that. I'm doing tacos a few nights a week. So looking forward to that New to the Kitchen segment coming up next. Kicking off New to the Kitchen is going to be Michelle. So can't wait to.
She's actually who I met that's new because I met her husband.
Oh, you just
at the
called her
restaurant
Michael,
show.
though?
No. There's a Michael somewhere around here.
Is there a Michael here?
Oh, okay.
You want to know what's funny, Greg, is before the show, he goes, hey, man, tell me about this Michael guy, And I was like, okay, and every word you're doing 10 things, I'm doing 10 things. I'm like, I don't know who the Michael guy is. I said, I don't know what you're talking about. So there you go.
Some fireworks are going to go off in the kitchen tonight. We're going to pull off some scabs that people they're not wanting to talk about.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to start talking about them. And the question is, for restaurants, try this one on for size. How about the war on wages, the lack of migrant workers in the back of the kitchen? It's a real thing, and there's truly not much quality work. There's folks that are, because unemployment is so low, because just the nature of low-paying jobs in the restaurant, of those start-out jobs, that, now a lot of people are reduced to a labor pool that is slim pickings. I mean, truly, you're lucky to keep an employee for a limited amount of time because their next job's probably going to jump to the next restaurant or their future bud tender or what have you. It's just folks that really aren't vested in the
in Denver.
in the
Every
restaurant.
unemployed person, there's 13 jobs
We're seeing
for
it
every
all the time.
unemployed person.
I'll tell you what. So Mark Whistler, this is just a little inside the cameras here. Mark Whistler from the Goods Restaurant. He's one of the hardest working guys I know, and he wants to keep the ship afloat. I had a conversation with him today, truly, and I don't even know if he wants me saying it, but he said, Greg, I'm just fed up to the point I want to turn the lights off, I want to lock the door, and I want to go home. And why? A lot of it has to do with labor and structure and people just merely showing up to do their shift. When you have to send people home because they're, inebriated or it's a tough climate out there, and I'm seeing more and more restaurants. The back of the house, even the front of the house, is suffering a lot with lack of people, quality people. So how do you do that? Especially looming on the horizon. What's this? Minimum wage increase with tipped folks? That will turn everything on its ear. We're going to talk about that with Rebecca Berry, along with scheduling issues. Can you imagine this?
Oh.
What do they call it?
There's some real hard stuff coming up, and it's good that we're addressing this now because a lot of people, if they don't know what's coming, they sure as heck need to know about it and start getting ready for it.
It's interesting, the scheduling issues that are coming up of you have to have a fair schedule 2 weeks in advance. Do you know you're live 2 weeks in advance?
I do, but yeah.
You were telling me a little bit about it. I'm not an expert on it. Rebecca Berry will be able to speak about that.
Yeah.
She's with a company called Fourth, and they do scheduling solutions and so much more, but another way to save you money. This show tonight is brought to you by Encore Energy. Talk about another business that's going to save you cash.
Oh, wow.
Saving cash off that bottom line, man, that's going to put money into your pocket to hopefully mitigate some of these other issues that you're having within a restaurant. And there's a myriad of them. One of the best guys to talk about that's coming on the show, his name's Jared Leonard from Stone Soup Collective. He's we call him a local guy now, but he's from Chicago. He's settled in nicely here into Colorado, and he's doing a bang-up job. But I'll tell you what is it, the Mustache November or something like that? If I could grow one, I would try and do that.
Yeah.
Jared Leonard, he's one of the most industrious, smartest, hardest-working guys in the business. He's got great concepts, and I'm wondering concepts versus restaurants that are just opening the doors and trying to seek that identity. Do you really have to dial in? I can't wait to talk to Jared Leonard.
He's a great guy, man. I really like Jared. Actually, there's a story behind why he's growing that mustache. We'll get that on the show tonight.
Well, quickly.
Greg, I'm going to head over to the corner because you're throwing it to me in just a minute. I'll be in the corner.
Last but not least, and there is no last but not least, we're going to talk to Chris Lindstrom as well from Accurate Companies. He does chemical supplies. That's another way to be able to save money. And then Ira from Chakalaka. How do you say Chakalaka?
Cholaca.
I promise that was the first time I need to have to be corrected.
It's Michael.
Cholaca.
It's Michael from Chokalana.
It's Ira Lytag, I believe it is. We'll get that all straightened out. He's going to be here with Steve. I mean, all of these people with very difficult names tonight. He's going to be
I
here
love
with
it. We're testing you a little bit. Is that what it is?
No, Steve Enderhouse. I don't need a test. Got this down pat. From Tommyknocker Brewery, chocolate emulsified. How can you use it? We're going to figure out many, many ways to do that. We got a full show for you tonight. We're glad you're tuned in here. Again, just go to themoderneater.com. You can watch us live here in the kitchen. We're going to turn the AC on in here.
I think so. I think it would be nice.
You keep looking at my forehead. All right, let's turn around, take a break, come back with that new segment. And that new segment is what, Brian?
Which new segment, babe?
The one that I just set up and talked about.
The one that you set up is going to be our new to the network.
Yes, we'll be back in a flash on the Modern Eater Show.
Check us out on Instagram and Facebook for all the.
Yeah, we're clear now. Sorry.
Search the Modern Eater or check
the button. I pressed the button. Bye.
Hi there, Saver. Medicare Advantage plans may offer prescription drug, medical, and hospital coverage. Walgreens is a preferred network pharmacy with many plan with Walgreens as your preferred pharmacy. Walgreens. Trust.
I think are, top of my discussion list.
Yeah, he's the best in the biz. Hey, we're going to take a break. We will be right back. Thank you, Jared. Thank you so much. Thank you, brother.
Beer and get into some rich fall flavors. Belgian-style doubles, pumpkin spice brown ale, rich dark quadruples, and tasty triples are perfect for cooler weather. We make nothing but badass Belgian-style beers. Check out our social media reviews, then come in and see what everyone's talking about. We're at 67th and Pecos in North Denver, about 10 minutes north of downtown. With the holidays coming up, we'll soon be releasing some very special beers, including our famous Belgian-style champagne beer. Planning a holiday party or family get-together? Brews Beers has everything you need to make it a great event. Brews Beers, spelled B-R-U-Z, 1675 West 67th Avenue in Denver. Check us out at brewsbeers.com. We're dog-friendly with food trucks every day. So come on in and experience some Belgian-style badassery.
Hey, Colorado. This is Brian Freeman, owner of Growers Organic and a host on the Modern Eater Talk Show. Growers Organic is a Colorado sourcing company who provides Colorado's greatest chefs with the best organic produce. I've been partnering with local and regional farms for the last 20 years, and our returning customers know they can count on us over and over again. Chefs who receive the highest rating on Good Food 100 choose Growers Organic for their organic produce needs because we're experts at bridging the gap between the farm and the table. Join us in the organic revolution and go organic with Growers Organic. Look us up online at growersorganic.com.
1 minute.
Spices. Hey, Modern Eater listeners, this is Zach from The Spice Guy, Colorado's favorite spice company. Spice is the variety of life. At The Spice Guy, we have a passion for sourcing the best ingredients from the best farmers all over the world. Choose from thousands of different GMO-free spices and ingredients, or let us create and blend custom flavor profiles for whatever style of food it is that you're working with. With over 1,000 restaurants, food brands, and chefs behind us, you can't go wrong when you choose The Spice Guy for all your spice needs. The Spice Guy.
Spicy.
Born in Breck, raised in Denver.
TheSpiceGuyCo.com.
Hey, this is Brother Luck from Colorado Springs. All right, you ready? Owner of 4 by Brother Luck and Lucky Dumplings.
We're coming back now.
He's a very, very impressive man. And you're rocking with the Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
Okay, we're back. Studio Kitchen, Colorado. Guests are putting their headsets on, locked and loaded. Put that mic right up near you there, Michelle.
Hello.
Beautiful. There you go.
My name is Michael.
I know. Hi, Mike.
No, I found out his name. Oh, I just found it, but I already forgot it. No, Chris. Chris is Michael. Michael Chris. Chris Michael.
It's all the same.
Yeah, it's all the same.
Back to the show. Here we are. There's no Michael in the house, but we'll go with Michelle. And Michelle and John Davidson here. I love to see, these are the stories I love. Family companies. Your story touched me in particular when we were at the Colorado Restaurant Association. This brand is really cool, and I'm in love with it. Well, probably because you gave me some samples and hooked me. It's like crack. I mean, truly, you give a little bit away, and then all of a sudden you're hooked, and now I have to be a customer, which I don't mind because I love supporting Colorado products, and Colorado families. So welcome to the show. It's Cooper's Small Batch Hot Sauce.
Thank you for having us.
So what's going down? What's new since we've seen you last? First of all, before we jump into that, tell the folks about Cooper's.
So Cooper's Small Batch Hot Sauce, really designed when we owned our restaurant on South Pearl Street, and we had 4 hot sauces, really just for table sauce for our patrons to use on our food. And then I dabbled into, little farmers markets and selling it there, and that's kind of where it went. It went off the wayside for a while, and then 2 years ago, we decided to bring it out into the market, rebranded it, kind of figured out where we wanted to go in the market, and here we are, sitting with you guys.
How are you guys doing? Brian, are you okay? Brian, my co-host is dying right now.
Does somebody give him the hot sauce?
I know. Brian, are you working on the hot sauce already? What got you?
I don't know. I do not know. All of a sudden, I just got a little sneeze.
Sneeze attacks.
A few of them are opened over there. Maybe it kind of billowed in the air.
Welcome back.
I love it.
Show,
Thank you. No, I mean, I think we talk about this hot sauce because when you say it grabbed you, he did taste the hot stuff, and I saw the sweat on his brow. It did grab him in a special way.
Oh, good.
Well, good. We like it when it grabs.
I like it hot. I mean, and here's the thing. Hot sauce. That's one of the things I learned about your brand is it's called hot sauce, but it's flavorful sauces.
Right.
Can be used for many, many things. Now, but here's the caveat with that. I like hot.
Yes.
What's the super duper hot one that would knock me on my
It's the new one without the label on it.
I was going to say, yeah, it's being tested right now. I will be happy to test this out. And, Brian, you can't.
Here we go.
I'm just going over the top.
Oh, yes. Here we go.
They disappeared.
What am I tasting?
So this is our new hot sauce called the Perfect Storm. It is a combination of 3 different peppers, cayenne, habaneros, and ghost chilies. It's also got orange, tangerine, pineapple, and cranberries in it for the festive holidays that we're approaching here.
Here's why I'm laughing. It has nothing to do with the hot sauce at all, but Brian has the most sensitive stomach in the world. He can't try anything hot. And I tasted that. It's right where I want it to be. Yeah, it's a little warm. But Brian must be dying.
No, this is actually tastes perfect.
You're not dying?
Right up top, it's fine. I think I could taste the tangerine really on the nose
Wait, you
of
said
it.
right up top? That means in a while it's not going to be so good? Is that
So
what
hot it burns you twice, baby. Come on now.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so in all of our hot sauce, you notice that there's a lot of flavor progression. So like you said, you get the top note, tangerine, and then it settles into the heat from the chilies a little bit later on.
I like it, though. Yeah. I got to tell you, that's
delicious.
good. Yeah.
So that's not, of course, it's not available.
It's bottled, so you get the pre-tasting.
You
We're
know
just
I'll
waiting
take
on
it.
our labels.
You know I'll steal it.
Yeah, we're waiting on labels.
Are you?
Labels.
So it's locked and loaded and ready to go?
Locked and
okay,
loaded.
so you got hot covered, right?
Yeah.
Hot is covered. We have an array, a myriad of other sauces here. Talk about a couple of these right here.
So we are really focused on food and making hot sauce that is really meant to pair with your food. So lots of people focus on making a hot sauce that just tastes good. We want a hot sauce that tastes good with your food. I mean, what else are you going to put hot sauce on, right? Mm-hmm. So we have hot sauces that go with cheese, which are our fruit hot sauces on the end there are really designed to pair with cheese. We have hot sauces that are meant to go with brothy soups and rice and noodle dishes. We have hot sauces that are meant to go with your breakfast dishes, your potatoes, your eggs, your all-around great hot sauces. We have hot sauces that are barbecue-esque. We have hot sauces that can be subbed for mayonnaise. So we have a gamut of things across the board that are really meant to pair with your food and elevate the flavors of your food. And one of the reasons that hot sauce works so well on food is because it's introducing 3 really primary concepts to food. It's adding salt, it's adding acid, and it's adding that chili component, which has become really popular in food these days.
John, I tell you, I'd put that on a Hawaiian pizza all day, every day.
So I know people, and I think everybody knows, and you probably
Al
are.
Pastor tacos.
You probably are these people. You put sauce on everything. Do you? Pizza.
Now we do.
Now you do. Kind of have to.
Kind of have to.
I'm telling you.
Here, I got a question for you. Yeah. One food, if you got to pick one food to eat the rest of your life, what would it be?
One single type of food?
Yep.
Well, because you pick something that has so many ingredients, like a pizza, you could have so many variations.
Yeah, no, I'm saying Mexican food, man. If I could eat something for the rest of my life, I like Michelle and I are on the same page. I like that. I'd eat Mexican because you can go any way, every way with Mexican all day long, and all of those complement it.
I take it one step further and I call it equatorial cuisine.
Nice.
That gives you a much larger gamut.
What's next for you guys? We always say, well, we love Colorado products, and one of the most difficult things is, well, where are they available? Unless you can crack the code of Whole Foods or one of these larger market chains, it's very difficult for distribution and then people to buy them. I mean, they could probably go to your website, right?
Yeah, so currently we are in about a little over 130 locations.
Really? That's so
primarily
fantastic.
in Colorado. We have some outside in Utah and Montana and Arizona, but primarily it's all in Colorado. We do a lot with the smaller grocery markets.
Hot.
More local grocery markets. Probably
Let's be specific.
The specific, Larimer Market's a great client of ours
Okay.
downtown. Choice Market downtown's a
stuff.
good one. We have Sam's Meats in Aurora, which if you haven't been there is an amazing meat shop. Wally's Meats is also a great store. We go over there in Westminster. Where else? We're up in the mountains.
Lucky's Markets in Boulder. Fort Collins.
And they just opened that new one over on Wadsworth and 38th or somewhere around there? Yeah.
Yep, and they're getting ready to open one in Lowry as well.
Yeah.
I love how they're one-offs, too, because that's really cool, too. I'm betting that Lever's Locavore is going to get a hold of you.
They are.
Nice.
The PO is in. We're just waiting for them to open, and they're
I heard 2 weeks. 2 weeks. They're a big fan of Growers Organic, and I'm excited for Levers. And there's going to be a ton of great partners in there.
Yes.
But I got to get back to your salsa. One of the cool things I think is that you can ship all over the world, and it's cheap because it's not like you're not shipping 5 pounds or this odd size box. You've got a little box. You can ship it out to anyone. Anywhere in the world. So your mail order business, I'm sure, is huge.
We're growing every single day. We're growing from when we started. Every month, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, which is great for us because obviously web business is a big platform that you want to be on.
Direct.
So,
and that's CoopersSmallBatch.com.
CoopersSmallBatch.com.
Nice.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, and we also put on our website anything that you order over $25 is free shipping. So it's really 2 items if you do a gift set and a big bottle or 3 big bottles. I mean,
dang you guys for making me sweat. How come you're not sweating?
I love it. I thought that tastes so good, though. See, I mean, I'll tell you,
and it did have the
progression of
very
different flavors.
I'm in love with the brand, and I really hope people will take a look at this. It's great for gifts. I mean, the holidays are coming up, and, you can't go without enough sauce, hot sauce in general, but these other ones, the white one really intrigues me right there.
Yeah. Coconut milk-based hot sauce, great for tacos in general. Works great as a substitute for like a butter sauce on top of a steak. Melts really well on top of that.
Pronounce that, John. It's leche.
Leche diablesa. It's the milk of the she-devil.
Nice.
Why wouldn't it be?
But I'll tell you, that to me went well with the curry dish.
Yeah.
Is where and that's the cool thing I think about your sauces is they go with so many different things that, some people just sort of pigeon, and I'll mention one of your competitors, Dave's Insanity Sauce.
Sure.
He's got this very small market. It's just hot. Yeah. And it's not like super flavorful or super diverse of where it could go. And you're making a product that is so diverse and can go with any kind of food.
Well, some people might say they're crazy. You have too many SKUs. I mean, there might be some people that are like, well, he's got it down because he's got that one SKU. Are you guys kind of working your way to, figuring out what SKUs are working for you and what may need to be peeled back, or are you right where you want to be?
Absolutely. Some things are going to come, some things are going to go. I have new ideas all the time.
What's not going?
Well, I can't say that.
You can say the ones. I didn't ask you which ones are going. Which ones are definitely staying? The Tie Me Up's
so
stay, right?
The Tie Me Up's going to stay. The Grundle Thumper is our #1 seller. These 3 just came out, so they'll be around for at least a little while.
That's your #1?
That's the #1. The strawberry sauce there just won an award for best fruit hot sauce in the country and internationally, actually. And the Tomatillo just won an award for best not-so-hot hot sauce, kid-friendly hot sauce.
Kid-friendly hot sauce.
Ooh, this one, Jamaican killer. I like that.
This right here, I have a feeling this is going to do well.
So this one is very strawberry forward. Really, really nice hot sauce.
Ooh, but a nice little kick in the back on that. So which pepper's in there?
So there's habaneros in there.
Habaneros?
Yeah, and that's going to be great on like your morning
eat
breakfast sandwich with ham or anything like that.
Here's Mr. Cooties,
Anything
this
smoked.
guy,
I've come a long ways.
Let's open some up.
Let me just say that. Try this.
Whoop. Yeah, that one on your softer cheeses, your blue cheese, your charcuterie.
I can see that.
And where are you getting I love the Grundle Thumper. Come on. There's a reason why that's your #1 seller. Come on now.
There might be. A lot of people buy that. I try to be a little kitschy with the names. They take some thought to think about. Like that one's actually pronounced Jamaica Killer Sauce. It's got hibiscus flower in it. So Jamaica Killer Sauce.
How about the Milk of the Lady Devil?
Well, that was Michelle's sauce.
Was it really? and don't Google Milk of the Lady Devil because you're not going to get the hot sauce.
Yeah.
But if you go to Cooper Small Batch hot sauce, is it Cooper Small Batch or
CooperSmallBatch.com?
You can order that. Love catching up with you guys. We're going to stick with your story.
Peaches in Regalia. That's a Frank Zappa song. So lots of kitschy names.
Good Colorado company. Where are you guys based out of?
Our facility's in Aurora, and Based out of Aurora.
Based out of Aurora. There
Yeah.
they are. I think we may have partied a long time ago.
We may have partied a long time ago.
We'll do it again tonight. It's a party in the kitchen, Studio Kitchen, Colorado, having a great time. We're going to go from hot sauce to chemicals.
Give them a little tease. What are we talking chemicals?
Oh, it's interesting. You know, me, I'm a layman when it comes to what chemicals do you need in a restaurant in order to do what. I think everything is just Windex. Truly, that will no.
Degreaser works on everything.
Degreaser. Yeah. Jay, what's your favorite chemical?
Bleach.
I like bleach. Bleach happens to be my favorite smell, actually.
Okay, that's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. However, but I'm just kidding, Joe. I hang around with these guys. I've heard a lot of weirder stuff in that. Yeah, bleach, man. Bleach does everything.
Bleach. I'm an alcohol guy. I think alcohol kills everything.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that could get expensive because the tequila you drink is really good, though. Hey, ho.
You guys, thank you again. These guys are great. It's Michelle.
Yes, Michelle and John.
Davidson. Cooper Small Batch Hot Sauce. Okay, we'll come back. We'll come back with Chris Lindstrom from Accurate Companies. And we'll send it away to Little Rich in the Little Rich Corner right here, the Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
Who's your path through?
Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Facebook for all the fun photos and videos. Just search The Modern Eater or check out the website.
Well, that's because Rich, we're going to talk about hot schedule.
Hey guys,
Oh!
For American Financing, whether you're looking to buy a home or refinance your mortgage.
Did you see what she just did there? Oh my gosh! So just a little teaser of what's coming up. What are you going to be talking about?
It starts with a salary-based mortgage consultant who guides you through every step of the process, offering one-on-one coaching to the greatest savings. And because they're salary-based, there's never any pressure. They're here to take care of you. In fact, customer service is a big reason for their A+ rating with the Better
Well, I tell you, if you've got questions about this upcoming, because there's a lot of things coming up, this is the expert. Rebecca knows her stuff. Been in the biz a long time.
That may offer you a shorter.
I know. No, you're awesome, sweetheart. Thanks for coming down. This is going to be a blast when we get you on.
Purchase or refinance. Call 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000 or AmericanFinancing.net.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again. This is going to be a blast. Hey, guys, we're going to be right back. Listen to some words from our sponsors, one of them being Ardent Mills. Right there. We'll be back.
When I go out to eat, I not only want to eat delicious food and drinks, but I also want to eat where I know my money is going to a local restaurant that I believe in. I believe in the Goods Restaurant on Colfax and Mark Whistler. The Goods is a community restaurant and bar with a menu focusing on vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, and keto options. Comfort food lovers, try the best burger on planet Earth. I love it. 8 ounces of grass-fed beef and never, ever any hormones, antibiotics, or steroids. The Goods is truly a cultural melting pot, a family restaurant open to all. Their bar program is amazing. Saddle up at their long, luxurious bar, have a nice craft beer or a cocktail. Like their Facebook page and stay up on amazing events and specials going on throughout the week. Located on East Colfax, directly connected to the Tattered Cover Bookstore, across from East High School with free parking and a garage in back. Look them up online, thegoodsrestaurant.com. I'll see you at the Goods.
Want to bake the best? Bake with the best. Little Rich here from Raquelitas Tortillas and the Modern Eater. Our wraps fold cold and don't break open, yet they're soft and delicious. What's my secret? Ardent Mills. Organic, ancient, and heirloom grains like quinoa, spelt, and more. Locally headquartered in Denver, Colorado, Ardent Mills provides the industry's broadest range of traditional and organic flours, whole grains, customized blends, and specialty products dedicated to providing the culinary industry with the next grains and unique plant-based ingredients. I love Ardent Mills, and I know you will too. To bake the best, you must use the best. Learn more at ardentmills.com.
All right, back to the show.
Michael Myers from Distillery 291.
Sorry, I didn't know I had to hit that.
That'll get me in trouble. Write it like you stole it, drink it like you own it. You're listening to The Modern Eater on iHeartRadio.
Yes, indeed, you are. We're right here in the Rocky Mountain, Colorado. Rocky Mountain High on the Modern Eater Show here in Studio Kitchen. Tonight, what a great night. We just had that segment with
I had to go cool out.
Salsa, yeah.
Oh, my God. I had to go outside, get a little air. That hot sauce was very good. I'm assuming we're live right now.
We are live.
It's fantastic. Where's our guest if we're live?
Our guest, Chris.
Oh, man.
Is he sneaking right back? It's all right. Chris is sneaking right back.
Chris was here?
Yes, Chris is here. He's coming right back. He too might have got a little of that hot sauce, I think. But that is good. Everyone is running around the kitchen right now, happy.
Tonight's theme is really cool because we're talking about ways that whether you're a restaurant operator, restaurateur, to be able to save money at your business, to be able to be profitable on the bottom line. And really, there's truly ways out there to do it, but you have to network. Your network has to be good. Chris, there's Chris. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing
the new guy,
spectacular.
Frank. There's Frank.
How you doing?
How are
Good.
you guys?
Frank is the right-hand man. He wanted to join us tonight as well.
Well, there you go. We got you. We got you both. So we're going from hot sauce to chemicals.
Big difference.
There is a little bit. Yeah, a little bit of difference. But
both of them kill my gut.
Both of them kill your gut,
Yeah,
or
definitely.
potentially. Chris Lindstrom, Accurate Companies. First of all, Accurate Companies. What do you guys do?
We are a chemical manufacturer based out of Tempe, Arizona that came up throughout the entire Southwest, but we specifically followed some strategic customers that when they stepped into the Denver market had specifically asked us, could you follow us? There's a reason for that. Quite proud to be able to say that a customer more or less demanded that we go into a market that we weren't even involved with. And so we chased that up here about 4.5 years ago, and it's been fantastic.
Great. That's great. Something that, we talk about restaurants here. I'm sure you figured that out by now. So pertaining to restaurants, chemicals are a big deal.
Chemicals are a really big deal. I mean, every single restaurant needs it. There's multiple different avenues to go through.
Jay's favorite chemical is bleach.
Bleach. Why is that?
Well, I mean, in my defense, that was just like a left field question. I don't even know.
That's not your favorite?
Well, I don't know if I have a favorite chemical.
Well, you should.
So it's you
What
said
works the
I
best?
just picked one. Well, I mean, I think if you're going to go with science, the bleach is pretty good.
Yeah, it is. And growing up as a kid, there were only two or three. You had the
Bleach,
Comet.
yeah.
You had Comet. You had bleach, and you had Windex.
Which am I the only one? Comet. When you drop it on the counter and a little powder comes out, you were always.
Yeah,
and it was just the greatest smell in the world. Like I just absolutely.
I think was that a weird science movie?
No, that was actually one of the Cheech and Chong.
Cheech and Chong movies.
Yes, it was one of the.
Comet didn't give me a little funny feeling, so I think it was just strictly a smell situation.
What do restaurants need to know about chemicals?
Restaurants, I mean, really, one of the most important things that most people don't quite understand is when we're talking about a restaurant-type environment, and unfortunately one of the bad things that do happen is once in a while people do get sick. Things do happen in that nature. And the reality of it is simply this. 9 times out of 10, it's not the gentleman sweating back behind an open flame, spinning things off. Is the reason why people get sick. It's typically the warewashing side of how a plate was cleaned, how it was properly hygiene, sanitized, and then going back out into the public. They say typically about 70% of the time when a type of food sickness occurs, it is because of a hygiene issue, not a food prep issue. So that is where we come in to make sure that we eliminate all those type of situations to guarantee our owners, our kitchen management, everything else that, hey, trust us. We know what we're doing. We're going to ensure that everything is secure, everything is safe, and we're going to get you to.
I got a fun little exercise for you. How many chemicals are in an average restaurant? So walk through that, because there's a lot.
Well, your dish machine is typically 3 chemicals.
Okay.
Unless we're dealing with a high-temp machine, so 3 chemicals.
And the dish pit.
And the dish pit is 2 more chemicals, specifically on the 3-comp sink. And then on the mop sink side, we can have anywhere up to another 3 to 4 chemicals max.
Really?
Wow.
But then, bathroom, you got soap in there.
Bathroom, we got hand soap in there, and then now we have bathroom cleaners as well. So there's additional chemicals that typically falls into a housekeeping side of business, which we do as well. But a lot of restaurants have private companies that come in and take care of situations. But in those situations where they don't, yes, without a doubt, we can help with that as well.
Now, behind the bar, is that the same chemical that they're using in the dish pit, or is that completely different in the bar?
It is close. In certain situations where they don't have the room to accomplish what they do in the back of the house, yes, then it is a little bit different chemical type situation. But no matter what, you still need to have some form of detergent and some form of sanitizer. There's multiple different types of applications to do that with, depending on your space that you have behind the bar itself. We'll determine which avenue we go with that.
Yeah.
Well, and what they're wiping the tables. I mean, we've already covered like 10, 11 different kinds of chemicals.
Correct.
In any given restaurant.
That's
amazing.
Yeah, what do you do with this? Frank, jump in anytime you want to.
Yeah, hey, Frank.
I need to know. I know you can talk, right?
Yeah, whatever you guys need.
All right. So do this for me. There are certain folks that I know, you say the word chemicals, they're like,
Shut down. They
my,
shut down,
Yeah, if it's not to the point of where they're using like lemons to wash their counters with. You know these people.
Correct.
And some of these people own restaurants, I would assume or imagine.
About old school tradition.
What do you do to cut through that thought that these chemicals are just as unsafe as anything else that you could catch in here?
Well, I mean, really what it comes down to is just, again, the hygiene side of business. You know, detergent's one thing, a soap's one thing, bubbles, everything else. But when we're talking about ensuring somebody's health, that they don't get sick.
We don't want anyone
to get sick. But they made Simple Green for a reason, though, right? I mean, that thought I'm not an expert on this.
They make a Ford, they make a Chevy, they make a
Right.
Maserati.
But Simple Green was made on the thought that chemicals are bad. This is a better cleaning product.
Correct. And the reality is simply this. There is truly no such thing as a 100% green chemical. Anyone that is absolutely saying we are 100% a green chemical is not telling the truth in the game. Let's face it, chemicals, we need them. Some of them are better than others, but the reality is they must be used in a proper application, and there's engineering and chemistry behind it to ensure that it works properly. Anyone can make any type of soap. You know, I have friends that make homemade bars of soap. Does that homemade bar of soap work as well as the one that I buy at the grocery store?
I don't know. You tell me. I want to know this. I want to know the answers.
Well, I'll bring you a bar of soap next time I come.
It would be a new thing to me, but I'll figure out how to use it. I really want to know the answer to that question of chemicals and being unsafe. It's just proper handling, care, and application.
Procedure is 100% everything, because not only can a chemical hurt the public if it's not removed properly, but it can also hurt the user using the product as well, which is what we specialize in proper training of how to handle the chemical, how to properly dispense the chemical to ensure that, you know, not only is your patrons being protected, but your employees are being protected as well.
Yeah. So let's take Studio Kitchen Colorado as an example. We are a commercial kitchen. We are licensed as a restaurant, so we do have to keep the standards as the health department. Proper storage of chemicals. I've seen some people do some no-nos, you know.
I did notice some.
Is there a no-no over here?
I did notice a no-no over there, and we'll talk about it afterwards.
Well, no, you can talk about it right now because it's good to catch these things.
Well, something sitting over there in a little spray bottle doesn't have a proper label on it. So
labeling.
When health comes walking back here and again, they pick that up. They're going to say, hey, what is this chemical specifically? And you don't have an answer.
And you get dinged. And
now you get a check mark.
Okay.
Hey, Frank,
what's up?
Hey,
it's Frankie to the show. Welcome to the show. Hey, this is the Modern Eater, Frank. We're here tonight with Accurate Companies, and Chris and Frank from Accurate Companies.
Yes. So do you think you guys could help us identify our needs here?
Without a doubt. We'll be discussing that later on tonight, but consider it done. We will ensure that if anybody walks through your building with representing the health department, that you get 100% every single time.
Cool.
I can give you a personal guarantee on that.
Can I just point out that the spray bottle he's talking to with the chemical in there, because I know you
put
have
it
to
there. You put it in there.
Well, no, technically, I don't even know where that spray bottle came from. That's the truth. But here's the thing: I'm the only one that sprays it, right? So in this specific example, the health department wouldn't care one way or another, right? You know, but I could. It's like, listen, man, there's just water with a little bit of sanitizer in there.
What kind of sanitizer is in there?
One of the little blue pills that you would sanitize dishes with.
What is that little blue pill called?
I'm making all that stuff up.
Exactly. That's my point. Oh, hey,
yeah,
nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, I do have those pills for dish.
Little blue pills for other things?
Yeah, that's right. I'll talk to you after the show.
All right, dude, this has actually turned into a pretty fun segment, and we could do this all night, but unfortunately we don't have all night because we have other guests. So I want you and Frank, if possible, Frank, who's your customer, and talk to them directly. Cold calls are not fun. You have an opportunity right now to talk to a lot of potential buyers of your products. What do you say to them since you've got a captive audience?
My customer is simply this. I am here to help anybody, and I do mean anybody. A lot of my competitors specifically go after certain targets, everything else. I'm here to just ensure that your operations go smoothly, that you don't hurt your public, and that when the health department walks into your building, that you are guaranteed 100% on the chemical warewashing side of business. That's what I'm here for. I am more than happy to talk to absolutely anybody. I will educate anybody as much as I possibly can, and I'll direct them in the right direction. If I'm not a right fit, I'll definitely push you in the direction that you are.
And he's got a lot of great stories.
He does.
He's fun to talk to. And personalized service for me is paramount.
Service.
If you're going to be there and you're going to call on your accounts, That's exactly what I want. Jay, mark that clip. We'll get that to you guys. That's a good clip. Chris, Silent Frank.
Yep, no problem.
Great segment. We're going to talk to you a lot more, and we want your education for us. I think what we need to do, come back in the kitchen, we'll turn the cameras on, and we'll make a little demo.
I will even wear a cute little cleaning outfit for you guys.
Ooh, this is getting better every second.
6'2", 240 and a cute little outfit. All right.
He's a good guy. Okay, thank you so much.
AccurateCompanies.com.
Yep, do it. Check it out.
Thank you
and
very much.
you guys get on your game when it comes to your chemicals. That's for sure. These guys will help you out. All right, next segment, Jared Leonard. He's the man, the myth, the legend. Stone Soup Collective. He's going to join us on the show next. We are going to keep Jared for a few things, but we're going to talk about his restaurants here in town. You know, Brian, you talked about you need 3 things. What are they?
Service?
Nope. Burger, pizza,
burger, pizza, taco. Yep.
He's got chicken, pizza, barbecue. Yep. Those are 3 pretty.
Oh, he's got a burger
big
at Norm's,
right
man.
there.
That's one of the
Does it?
best.
I haven't had it.
One of the best burgers in town.
I'm in love with the man. I'm in love with his food, and you will too once we come back and talk to Jared Leonard right here from Studio Kitchen, Colorado on the Modern Eater Network.
Choose your through Cyberland.
Don't forget to check us out on Instagram.
Right, the closest thing and best thing is beer from Tommyknocker. And speaking of that, we got the president of Tommyknocker here right now.
Thank you, Rich.
Man, so what is happening at Tommyknocker?
We got a lot
The
going
candidates show that they're the right hire. And we give you this toy monkey, which will bang its cymbals when the right resume appears.
all year long. Starts in December.
There is no
We have new beer releases. I said there is no monkey.
But skills
we're
tests.
having a big party in Denver. We're
See
gonna
why
have
independent research by Silk Road shows Indeed delivers 3 times more hires
Holy cow. Well, there's always so much going on. And your beers. How many different varieties of beers do you guys have now?
Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply.
What would you like to be better at? Dancing.
Poker.
Yoga. According to a study.
Holy cow. And you know, just so you know, he's not just like administrative. This is the guy that creates the beers. And he's really, really good at it.
Plus, earn up to 50 extra bucks rewards each year for filling.
No, you're doing a great job up there. On your way up to the hill, stop at Tommyknocker. Right? Absolutely. Hey, we're going to take a couple words from our sponsors. We're going to let you listen to some words from these guys. And this guy over here, Elon Wenzel with his knives. We'll be right back.
Intolerant or sensitive to gluten? Or maybe you're a gluten-free lifestyler? Is your menu limited because you've eliminated gluten from your diet? Are you missing the taste of foods that traditionally contain gluten? What if I told you that you can add breads, pizzas, muffins, cakes, cookies, waffles, croissants, English muffins, the list goes on, right back to your menu? Gluten-Free Things is a local gluten-free and vegan bakery that reintroduces you to the foods you love. Owner John Irvin believes gluten-free shouldn't taste like the box that it's packaged in. Trust me when I tell you, the products from his bakery in Arvada are fresh, flavorful, and masterly crafted, leaving you with a product that tastes like the real thing. Simply delicious. The bakery is located in Arvada on 64th and Sims across the street from Arvada West High School. Check out their website at glutenfreethings.com. You'll be amazed with the variety of gluten-free products they make. And chefs, don't leave your gluten-free restaurant guests without options. Contact John at info@glutenfreethings.com. That's info@glutenfreethings.com to see what he can do for you. Give him a shot. 11651 West 64th Avenue in Arvada. It's Gluten-Free Things.
Hey, chef friends, it's Little Rich here from Rockalita's Tortillas. Rockalita's, known for hyper-local, innovative, and healthy tortillas and chips, served by Colorado's top chefs, and that's why we only use Colorado Mills sunflower oil. If you, too, want to serve the healthiest, most vibrant-tasting foods, you must use Colorado Mills. Colorado Mills is hyper-local, Colorado-grown, cold-pressed in Lamar, Colorado. Whether you bake, fry, or saute, get your Colorado Mills today. Available through Shamrock, Growers Organic, and Dawn Foods. For the best oil in the business, use Colorado Mills.
Hey, it's Chef Elon Wenzel, owner of Element Knife Company. If you cook, then you'll know the importance of a quality knife and proper care. My training in Japan exposed me to exceptional cutlery. That's why I am so excited to offer you the knives I fell in love with. Element Knife Company is chef-driven, and my goal is to support and educate. Get at me for a knife clinic or conversation. Find me at elementknife.com or by simply calling 303-460-4628. For the best knives in your kitchen, think Element Knife Company.
Listen up, barbecue lovers. Greg Hollenbach here for Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions. Proud Souls is Denver's authority of all things barbecue. Do you rule your neighborhood with the best backyard barbecue? From beginners to pit masters, Proud Souls has all the equipment you could possibly want. A variety of wood, pellet, and charcoal grills and smokers. Award-winning pit masters and owners of Proud Souls, Dan and Tony, have a passion for barbecue, and it shows. Located on 25th and Federal, Proud Souls retail store is bursting at the seams with your barbecuing essentials, the Spice Guy spices, and superior flavored fuels for your pit like hickory, mesquite, oak, pecan, cherry, apple, peach, maple, grape, and a variety of blends. Hit their website, ProudSoulsBBQ.com, for delicious hands-on barbecue classes and get information on current promotions and deals. For the best in barbecue, locally owned and operated on 25th and Federal, there are guys. Proud Barbecue and Provisions. That's ProudSoulsBBQ.com.
Feed me now. We're coming back.
Eater Show.
That's right, boy. I'm starving.
And now it's time for In the Kitchen.
How am I supposed to keep on feeding you?
Your mic's hot.
People.
Brought to you by Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions. Award-winning competition cooks and purveyors of specialty barbecue supplies right here in Denver, Colorado. ProudSoulsBBQ.com.
Feed me all night long.
All night long. I have trouble doing anything all night long anymore except sleeping.
Yeah, I was going to say, you do something really well. I've seen you
all night long, which is no problem. Live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on Twitter, live on Periscope. Why not? Live on iHeartRadio, 630 KHOW, our local talk show affiliate. And back with myself, Greg Hollenbach, Brian Freeman. The whole cast and crew is here. Joining us to the show now, he's a friend. I feel like
a neighbor, a restaurateur, a father, a good father, a husband,
a Renaissance man.
He is. He's a great guy all around.
What's his name?
I like him.
You know this
Jared.
one?
I know this one. Jared Leonard.
Jared Leonard, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Good to have you back.
Yeah, it's been a while.
We're going to keep you for a while, but this segment's all about food.
Okay.
It's in the kitchen.
Okay.
And you've been in the kitchen, my man.
All day, look at this. I've got my shirt covered in white flour.
I know. He can always prove he's been working.
Yes, I make sure to have, even if I'm not working, I have a dirty shirt in my car to put on so that I can pretend. Play the same part. You know?
Stone Soup Collective, what is it?
Stone Soup Collective owns 10 restaurants, 4 concepts. We've got the Budlong Hot Chicken, 6 in Chicago, 1 in Denver. We've got AJ's Pit Barbecue. We've got Norm's Deli and Grabowski's Pizzeria, newly opened at the Source Market Hall on Brighton Boulevard in Rhino.
How's it going there?
It's good. It's good. I was just checking out the cameras. We're full right now, and they're frantically scurrying around to make the pizzas, and I'm here hanging with you guys, so thanks for getting me out of that.
You're such a stud for coming down here, man. Thank you.
Yeah, we're having fun. I was making pizza all day, and I thought I'd bring you all some. And
well, truth of the matter is his wife's out of town, and his kids have a play date tonight.
That's exactly. I told you that already. So Amanda's in Switzerland, and everybody keeps going, why do you let your wife go to Switzerland without you? And I'm like,
what do you mean? She's her own woman.
Absolutely, and she's over there on a service mission, dude. She's not like over there eating.
Is she really?
Yeah.
She's a great woman.
She's over there. I mean, she is eating fondue and bugling. Are they bugling? I told her to eat a Ricola while she's there.
In Switzerland.
Ricola. Is she going to be gone for a while?
Yeah. Here? Yeah, sure.
She's going to be gone for a while.
She's gone until Monday. She's been gone for about a week.
Okay.
We didn't burn the house down. You know, everything.
I know you always picture, Jared's hanging out in his underwear, which you probably are. You're just like, the laundry's stacking up. The dishes aren't done.
Do you think that that's Jared at all? I don't think that this man, I'll tell you, I've been to his house.
All right, this is like we're having a phone call with Jared because this is how we talk on the phone. But back to the serious stuff, and that's really, the pizza's delicious, and that's kind of a passion project for you, this new project with pizza. And was it kind of just your love of Chicago pizza that you really, because you've met so many close friends and people in the food industry here, that you wanted to show us all good Chicago pizza?
Yeah, I always say I'm a storyteller. That's what I do with my restaurants and my food. And I have a Nashville hot chicken mini chain. But I'm not from Nashville. I just learn the story and tell it well. I have a Texas-style barbecue place. Again, not my hometown, but I tell the story well. So when the opportunity came up to do a concept in the Source, I thought, you know what? I'm going to tell the story of the pizza I grew up eating. So Grabowski's was born. And so, yeah, it's a passion project of me just sharing my love for pizza. I love pizza. It's always been my favorite food. And then, 2, just kind of educating local Denverites and reintroducing or
introducing.
Yes. I mean, bringing people who are from Chicago back to something that they're familiar with. We had a couple in tonight who was like, this tastes just like Barnaby's. And I grew up eating Barnaby's. It's this like dungeon-esque place on Toohey Avenue near the airport. No windows. It's totally dark in there. Pitchers of beer, pitchers of root beer, 16-inch pizzas with
and they
cornmeal
line
on the
up.
bottom. Oh, they don't line up. It's not a hipster joint. It's just a family-owned pizzeria that's been there for 50 years, and everybody eats there.
Gotcha.
And, Jared, but let me jump in and ask a question around this because I think there's confusion. A lot of people think of Chicago deep dish. And tell the story because I think you told it best. Chicago deep dish is not real, right?
Well, no, it's real. It's just it's kind of been media sensationalized that that's the kind of pizza we eat in Chicago. And it is. There is that pizza there, but it's not what locals eat, really. And I've made the comparison to, Mexican people don't always only eat tacos, and French people don't always only eat croissants. These are foods that are regionally, aligned to a country or a region or a city, but it's not necessarily what the
indigenous,
the local people.
Yeah, so it's so funny because Alex Liberati, who the Roman that we talked to, comes here and talks to me about Italian food. He's like, there's no chicken parm.
Right.
Exactly. We don't do that stuff. And the authentic. So it's cool that you're like, oh, hey, let me turn the light bulb on. You guys want to know? Here I am. I'm a Chicagoan.
Well, and I want to be clear. A buddy of mine, Jason McGovern, owns a place called Crush. He does deep dish. Deep dish is fine. It's cool. I'm never knocking on it.
Sure.
It's just not what I grew up eating.
Absolutely.
It's not like we literally eat it twice a year when friends are in town because they go, oh, where can we get the deep dish pizza? But in truth, deep dish was invented in the 60s or 70s. Stuffed pizza was invented in the 70s. Malnati's and Uno's made it famous. But what we eat and what's been in Chicago for 100 years is this tavern-cut pizza. And it gets its name from the fact that it was served at taverns locally. It's cut into squares, as you can see over on the table there. About 30 slices, right? I mean, they're picking
People
apart.
destroyed it, man. It was good.
The vegetable pizza has not been eaten all the way. The meat pizza's eaten first. That's... I get it. So they would put that pizza out at taverns so that the working man who was drinking at the tavern after work wouldn't go home to eat dinner with his family. He'd stay at the bar.
I love these stories. Go.
And so these guys they had these old brick ovens, and they would put out these pizzas on the bar, and the guys would grab a slice for a snack. So tavern-style pizza was a snack, and then deep dish or thicker pizza, that's what you would have for dinner or a meal. So this is meant to be a snacking pizza shared.
Oh, it's like a big old fat Chicagoan's peanut where you just grab a I'm just kidding. Meaning there are some to have a piece of pizza as a snack is kind of for me.
Okay, I got
so
you.
the peanuts in the bar is
I didn't know where you were going with grabbing peanuts. Grabbing peanuts?
But so truly, it was just meant to be little bite foods
exactly.
in the tavern.
But what I like about it, we obviously still eat it as a meal, but originally it was this tavern snack. Yeah. But you can eat 6 or 7 slices, and there's the center pieces that are gooey because there is no crust. They're kind of this is called a cracker crust, so it's very, very thin, very the opposite of deep dish. In fact,
we're keeping you. We got a break.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Okay.
It's the Modern Eater Show.
Did you know that you do not have to hire multiple contractors and visit dozens of home centers in order to get that brand new gorgeous bathroom? Really? Hi, Dan Cicchini, Done Right Bathrooms, providing high-quality, full-service, turnkey bathroom.
Came in here early.
For over 3 decades.
And you know what? It wasn't... I wanted people to know the benefits of what you do, because I know a lot of them are like, wait, first off, what is it that you do? Let's tell our audience.
So I sell natural gas to restaurants. Anywhere that burns enough gas, and I save them money on their natural gas. They do nothing different except buy from Encore Energy versus Excel Energy, the public utility.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
Yeah. The big pain in all this is the extra money that I end up with because this guy saves me money. And I was so ignorant. And maybe you're watching this and you're in the same thing. You're thinking, wait a minute. That is too good to be true. I'll tell you what happened to me. Brian came to me, and I'm like, no. There's something here. No one's going to give me free money. No one's ever given me free money. And suddenly, and I'm like, do I have to rejet my ovens? Do I have to change all these different things? My heaters, all this stuff. So I got a whole bunch of stuff, as Brian knows. And I didn't have to do a thing. I just signed the contract with Brian, and suddenly I'm saving a whole bunch of money on each and every decatherm coming in my building. For suddenly those checks were way less. And you know what happens in this business is so many times we get buried on that line item. Well, we're going to save money on food. I'm going to save money on this and that. Gas is something, it's a huge unknown thing, and this is the guy that can easily, conveniently save you a whole bunch of money. The contract. Remember last summer we signed the contract? We did it right on the wall. We re-signed, what was that, a 2-year contract? 3-year contract. We figured we probably saved about $24,000. And it,
correct. And we did nothing different. Miami's gas from us versus Xcel Energy. It's simple.
Yeah, there's nothing to it. So, I mean, that's why when I got involved with the Modern Eater, I really wanted Bryan down here because people, you need to know about this. This is really, really important. And it's a great way to save gas. This guy knows this stuff. He's like watching over my shoulder like a hawk. He's like, hey, Richie, gas prices are moving this way or that way. This is a great time. And you walk people through it so well, especially someone slow like me. I mean, this is the guy. He's got the integrity. He's got the knowledge. How long you been in the game?
I've been in this 15 years now.
Oh, my gosh. And he looks 18, so you got into what, when you were 3 years old?
Yeah.
So what kind of, if I'm watching this, I'm still a little apprehensive. But I want to take a stab at it. How do I jump in the Bryan pool?
Very, very simple. So give me a call first. That's 720-245-5771.
Okay.
And then what I'll ask you for is 12 months worth of your utility bills. And I'll do the rest of the work. I'm Dave. I know everybody's busy out there. I'll actually break those down and let you know if you are my customer in that same period.
Need cash but have bad credit or maxed out cards? Now you can get a personal loan for up to $5,000, whatever your credit, with no paperwork. 27cash.com is one of the nation's largest personal loan networks. If you have a checking account or regular income source, you can get cash in your account as soon as tomorrow. Type this into your smartphone or computer address bar. www.27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com. What's a Zoom room? It's what your conference room is meant to be, with flawless video and audio conferencing, instant wireless content sharing from any device, and just one tap of a button to start a meeting. Any space can easily...
You know, that kind of money, baby, that's taking that trip. That's taking that vacation. That's buying new equipment. That's maybe doesn't beat you up with the different labor, different things that are coming up. It helps you run more efficiently. It's been a great relationship, and I'm not saying this because Bryan is a sponsor. The reality is Bryan's a sponsor because I've seen it, and I believe it. I've seen it, and I've had that extra money to reinvest in our business.
County, it's an accident on northbound I-25 after Greenland Road, sitting on the left lane, causing a big backup. And then to the north, it's construction causing slow traffic on southbound I-25 between around E470 Northwest Parkway to 120th Avenue. And we're looking at some slower traffic from an earlier crash northbound I-25.
Yeah, one thing I can tell you about Bryan in all the years that I've known him, he has one agenda, and that agenda is to help you. He's not pushy. He's doesn't beat you up and all that stuff. Great guy to do business with. Great guy to do business with. So what do you see in gas futures coming up?
Get your truly free credit scores and free credit monitoring.
Yes.
From Credit Karma today. Download the Credit Karma app now. Credit Karma. Here's to progress.
Yes.
They're estimating, hey, I think gas prices are going to go up. Let me lock it in now to meet a budget. And just like you did for 3 years.
Yep.
You know exactly what you're going to pay, and we give you that opportunity.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. Nobody else does it. You can't lock up your gas with Xcel Energy. We allow you to do that. So you know exactly what you're going to pay for your gas for the next 3 years.
Yeah. Truly, pushing the 10 digits on the phone will save you so much money. And to think on my
plumbing, heating, cooling, and electric is Fix It 24/7. You'll never find better prices for the same service ever. FixMyHome.com. That's FixMyHome.com.
If you are looking for an absolutely amazing heating, plumbing, and electrical company that find them online at FixMyHome.com. That's
They're in the car, at the office, working around the house. Americans refuse to sit still. So how do you connect with all of these moving targets? Easy, with radio. Radio reaches 93% of Americans every week, more than Google, Facebook, even television. Because hey, who has the time to sit and watch TV? So when you want to connect with all those constantly moving adults, teens, and millennials, get to iHeartMedia.com and put AM/FM radio to work for your company.
Hi, I'm District Attorney George Brockler. Like Mike Kaufman, I'm an Iraq war veteran who believes in service to country above all else. And like Mike Kaufman, I know how dangerous sanctuary cities are. I know that under Mike's leadership, Aurora will never become a sanctuary city. Aurora needs a leader, and that's Mike Kaufman. Vote for Mike Kaufman for Aurora Mayor on November 5th because everyone, regardless of where they live in Aurora, has a right to feel safe.
Paid for by Mike for Mayor. Learn more at MikeForAuroraMayor.com.
630 KHOW,
an iHeartRadio station.
The following is a paid advertisement. The opinions, viewpoints, and promises made during the following program are not those of KHOW, its staff, management, or parent company, iHeartMedia Incorporated.
How about a bite to eat? It's time for the second course, hour number 2 of the Modern Eater.
Coming in.
What are you hungry for?
Here's to a meal we're all here for.
Delicious and tasty.
Now we're getting to the good stuff.
With your hosts, Greg Hollenbeck, Jay
Mike's hot.
and Freeman.
Not yet, but look at the schedule. Okay, we're back at it. The Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio. Steve, look at that schedule. See that? There you go. The schedule is right there. And we're back on the show here, the Modern Eater Show. Second hour we love, Brian.
We do. We do indeed.
Second hour is really good. So here's the conversation this hour. Jared Leonard rejoins us. Stone Soup Collective, also known as Budlong, AJ's Pit Barbecue.
Norm's.
Grabowski's Pizzeria.
Okay, you love Grabowski's, don't you?
Yes. Well, that's his new thing, man. But I'll tell you, truly, his burger at Norm's has gotten so. I've taken so many people over there. You don't know this, Jared. That's one of my haunts. Weekly, I go over to Norm's and to Budlong. I have the chicken, and someone always has something.
Do you
from
believe
Norm's.
him? I think we need him to take.
He knows. I call him all the time.
He does. He reports back on the staff if the ticket times are too long.
Really?
Which I appreciate. Jim Pittenger does the same thing. They know I care, but they know I also don't hover. We were just talking about that, so it's nice to get the feedback.
Yeah.
He's not a helicopter parent.
No, I'm not.
Oh, well, you can't be.
Just proven yesterday, but
you have to train well and then deploy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you have to have a good training program, and you got to have people that you trust, and you got to let them make mistakes. You really do.
Mistakes, yeah.
Yeah,
that's how you learn.
Yeah, no one will ever learn when you hover over them and try to micromanage everything that they do.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't born out of me being intelligent. That was born out of doing a bunch of different things, and I just couldn't be everywhere. So I had to start letting people make mistakes and fix the mistakes and try to prevent them and think to prevent mistakes in the future, but always knowing that they're going to make mistakes and fixing it after the fact. And
Jared, don't you see if they rise up to the challenge too?
That's right. Yeah, you put people in there that haven't run a busy dinner like right now. They're getting killed over at Grabowski's, and they're going to be fine. They're going to be fine. The pizza's going to be good. Ticket times sometimes are a little bit slower when we're busy, but you'll never get faster if you're not in the weeds.
So Little Rich, it pounds into my head all the time. Steel sharpens steel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and you just get that steel together, and you put the trust and the faith in that the folks that you've. There was a hiring process. There was obviously something that you saw in them, but a lot of times people have to dig deep when the boss isn't around and find it within themselves to be able to implement the things that you've taught them in the procedures.
Yeah, and anybody can learn this stuff. It's not rocket science, which I always make the joke. Even rocket science you could probably figure out if you tried hard enough.
Google it.
Yeah, right. I think intelligent, ambitious people will rise to the challenge, and those who aren't intelligent and ambitious can go do something else.
Yeah. So here's the topic for this hour, and it's kind of a theme that restaurant operators, restaurateurs, managers alike, it's tough times right now in a business in restaurants where, if you're doing great, your profit off the bottom line is maybe 8 to 10%. If you're doing great,
right, that's great. That's like Craig's talking the top of it.
Yeah, the very top of it. If you're not running at full steam, you're not going to find that 8 to 10%, which is so sad because there's so many other businesses you could get into to make a lot more money. So obviously you're into it for a servitude. You love to serve people.
Yep.
Make people happy, the community. People, families rely on you as well. But saving money and being smart, relationships have to be paramount, right? Today's show brought to you by Encore Energy and Bryan Rizuto here's with us right now. But saving money for people, we're going to talk about that. Being smart as a business, where you can save money. But Bryan Rizuto, as you join the show right now, the testimonies are there. We're seeing people. They're in the house tonight Tommyknocker Brewery, you sell natural gas.
Absolutely. We sell natural gas. The great thing is, been doing this for 15 years. Pretty much every business that has really good credit or is already transporting gas. And my job is to introduce people that aren't to natural gas transport. Very, very simple. You're still getting your gas from XL. You're just buying it from me. We ship through XL's lines. Very, very simple. And I'm saving you a minimum of usually 8% up to 22% on your gas bills. Just like you said, that's the line item that's missing.
Yep.
You do nothing different. Nothing.
You like saving money, don't you, Jared?
I love saving money.
Do you? Do you look at things like that? I mean, everything's relationship-based. If someone, you could have the best savings in the world from a product or a service, but if they don't service you and they don't come by and they don't talk to you and you don't have that relationship with them, that you're probably not going to even look at them, right?
True. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, so those types of relationships. Do you use natural gas?
Of course, yeah. I mean, my pizza oven's electric. That's my biggest consumable cooking device at Grabowski's. At AJ's, we cook with wood. So I don't use as much gas as some restaurants, but we use gas, obviously.
Sure, yeah. And you've got to have a certain amount of gas that you use.
I always say if you spend about $600 to $800 a month in your natural gas bills, I'm going to save you money. Anybody below that, hey, stay on XL. That's going to be your best option.
Not so much. Mark Whistler, who owns the Good Restaurant attached to the Tattered Cover Building across from East High School, he was going to join us tonight. And it's so terrible, but it fits in with this theme. Hopefully we can check in with Mark. He's a restaurant owner, and you see this all the time because you do it, Jared. He's in the kitchen working right now. Does he want to be? Probably not. He has other things that he'd like to do as a restaurant owner. Sure. What happens? Staffing issues, obviously. That's a big thing. We're going to talk about staffing issues with Rebecca Berry in the next segment, hopefully along with Mark Whistler. But he told me today, Greg, man, sometimes I just want to lock the doors, turn off the lights, and walk out of here because it's all too overwhelming for me. He does spend $1,700 on natural gas a month and has no loyalty to anybody. Nobody calls on him. He just pays the bill. What could you do for a guy like that that's spending $1,700 a month and is willing to dance with somebody like you?
Oh, absolutely. I could save him. If we looked at last year's, if he was with me last year, I probably would have saved him about 17% on that gas bill. Wow. So this is free money, guys. I always call it a no-brainer. I always say, hey, give me 12 months with your bills. I'll do all the work for you. I'll let you know if you were an Encore customer in this last 12 months, this is what I would have saved you. Zero pressure. You make the decision. If you want to save money, great. If you say, hey, Brian, just eat here, enjoy my food, and maybe talk to me next year, I can do that as well.
Yeah,
so
sure. How do you save money, Jared? What are some things that you look for? You're a smart guy. There's no rock unturned in your business.
You know, most of what I do to save money is DIY stuff. I build all of our restaurants. I have a general contracting license so that I can do most of the construction. I repair our equipment. I have all spare parts on hand, thermocouplers, regulators, control boards. I do a lot of this, the handyman kind of work myself. That's my biggest money saver. And I'll tell you, since I left Chicago and I have somebody else doing that all now, that line item is one of the biggest thorns in my side because I can't fly to Chicago to fix stuff. Yeah. But it's expensive, you know. And repairs and maintenance are a really big bill on our line items in the restaurants out of market. Here, I save money at all the restaurants doing that stuff myself.
God, thank God I'm not Jared because I don't have those talents. Do you have those talents?
You know, I do, but it's one of those things is where do you fit in and how does it fit into your schedule and where are you in your organization? I mean, I commend you because the other day I had to call out a plumber on a couple items that I could have fixed.
If you were a man?
Yeah.
I can't do it either, Brian.
No, I can do it. But
you can?
Yeah, and this was the thing.
Water or sewer?
It was water. It was water. It was a couple things. The guy presented me with a bill of like $450, and I totally challenged the plumber and said, "Are you serious? Let me break down the parts."
And he said that was cheap.
Probably. Yeah, well, he tried to until I was able to have a real man's discussion with him, and he knocked $100 off the bill. And that's the whole thing, though. But your employees don't look for that stuff. No, you know, they're not like micromanaging that.
Well, not at all.
And plumbers are expensive. You know, they have to get down in the shit, and nobody wants to do that.
Yeah.
So guys that rot out drains, it takes 10 minutes to rot the drain. They charge you, $400. Yeah. You know, there's stuff that you can't. Like I have somebody clean our grease traps now. I've got stuff I don't do myself anymore because I just don't want to get all nasty. But the stuff that's clean, water lines I do.
There's something, too, though, if the boss is doing it.
Yeah, so I actually make a point when I visit my restaurants, ratting myself, my little technique out here on the radio, but when I visit my restaurants in Chicago or here, I try to always do something hard that employees don't expect the owner to do, just so they can see that I'm in it to win it, build that morale. And it's not all just a show, it's also, I like doing that stuff, but I want them to know that I'm doing the stuff that I don't want to do too, so to maybe inspire them a little bit more to try harder and work harder and be in it to win it with me.
I love that, Jared.
I'm telling you, we're going to get into some deep discussions in the next couple of segments. I'm so looking forward to it because it's the scab that needs to be pulled off when it comes to not only payroll but attendance when it comes to your employees. Just show up. How do you get a quality employee? How do you maintain a culture within your restaurant if you can't even have a good group of people around you? Can't even build a culture. Bryan Rizuto, Encore Energy. Here's the thing. The theme that I'm seeing with people is that just don't be lazy. Give you a call. Be proactive about your business. If there's a way to save money, you can do it for them through natural gas, and I just want people to be able to learn more information about Encore Energy.
Absolutely. Let me give a phone number. It's 720-245-5771. Once again, 720-245-5771. I know you're busy people. I'll do all of it for you. Make it very simple.
That's cool.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. And these are the guys. If they are vetted through the Modern Eater Show, you know they're top quality. He'll answer all of your needs. Bryan Rizuto, Encore Energy, top quality guy. We're going to take a break, come right back, and this is a cool one because Rebecca Berry, she emailed me, Rebecca Berry from Fourth, who they bought hot schedules. Are you familiar with hot schedules?
Yes, I actually am. I did a little research on it.
Okay. So basically you're scheduling these on the forefront. Colorado could be a victim next. I think it's Oregon that has already instituted this. That if you don't put out a schedule 2 weeks in advance and stick to that schedule, that if somebody works within that 2 weeks, you're paying them time and a half. Can you imagine how that'll turn
Get
you on
out
your
of here,
ear?
man. Come on.
That's prospective legislation that's coming up, and also on the horizon right now, tipped employees demanding to be paid minimum wage with their tips. That could turn you on your ear as well. We'll talk about that and much, much more. Jared Leonard will continue with us and Rebecca Berry right here on the Modern Eater Show, Studio Kitchen, Colorado, iHeartRadio.
Here's a clear.
That's your cue for break.
Facebook for all the fun photos and videos. Just search The Modern Eater or check out the website, themoderneater.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter. The smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, you guys, Jay Parker here for Encore Energy. How much are you paying for your natural gas? Wouldn't you like to save 10 to 20% on your natural gas bill? Of course you would. You're not crazy. Encore Energy and Bryan Rizuto can do just that, save you money. Give Bryan a call, 720-245-5771. Maybe you own a restaurant or a brewery and use a ton of natural gas. This is how you save money. Get a free savings review from Bryan Rizuto and Encore Energy. Call Bryan at 720-245-5771. Save 10 to 20% on your natural gas bill right now.
Rocker Spirits. It's a distillery. It's a place to hang. It's about quality. It's about taste. It's about passion. Infused with American spirit. Rocker whiskey, rocker rum, rocker vodka. Get ready for an original look, feel, and experience. Old Town Littleton. And if you get hungry while you're sipping on some drinks, they've got the best food truck line in town. Open Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Rockerspirits.com. Rockerspirits.com.
Are we back to the the show. Don, talk to me from iHeart Studios.
Well, let's just go back to the show, Greg.
I'm thinking we might have to, or our engineer at iHeart Studios has passed away, and we have no way to reach him. Jay, call him on his phone, and I'm just going to treat it like we're back to the show right now. We don't have our co-host either, Brian Freeman. The wheels are falling off the bus right now. Throw your headset on there, Jared Leonard, Rebecca Berry in her place. Jared Leonard, Rebecca Berry. Do you guys know each other?
We don't, I don't think.
Hi,
nice to meet you.
Hello, Jared Leonard, Rebecca Berry. Jared Leonard owns a group of restaurants called Stone Soup Collective. You've probably eaten at a Bud Long, maybe. And a new restaurant, Grabowski's, in the Source Hotel, right?
That's right, Source Market Hall on Brighton Boulevard.
You're on your game, man. I like that. Just sharp tonight. Rebecca Berry, you're with a company called Fourth.
I am. That's correct. It's actually Fourth and Hot Schedules. We just are going through the end of a really big merger, which is really exciting.
Congratulations.
So happy to be here, guys. Thanks.
As we were doing our research, Brian's like, well, what's the website? I said, it's fourth.com. He's like, no way. That's a great URL, fourth.com.
Exactly. And actually my first day, because of the snowstorm, was my first day with Fourth. So.
Cool. Well, welcome to the show. Good to see your face again.
Good to see you too.
Here we go. So we're talking about, and we're getting into the conversation about restaurants and the tough climate and things that are coming up in legislation. First of all, Fourth, it begins with a family. I mean, let's harken back to like 1970, and we're in the UK, and there's a family, and I think it's not Choppers. It's what's the name of the restaurant that these you really don't know either. So this family, here's this family. They own a restaurant. And everybody in the family works for this restaurant, just like a lot of families. I mean, there's a lot of Chicago restaurants, right? Sure. Just like that. They're all over the place. It's all in the family. Everybody has a certain function. There's your bartender, who's Uncle John. There's your front of the house, and that's a mom. That's the waitress. And then you got in the back, that's Uncle Louie, who's doing the work in the back. And they came together to go, man, there are so many things in this world of restaurants that how do we design a system to be able to help other restaurants become more efficient in things that they can do. So with that being said, here is born a group called Fourth, and this family went on to own many restaurants in the UK. And today they have great technologies that help businesses become that family unit again and to be able to work better with schedules, staff, front of the house, back of the house. You take it away from me.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, Greg, I'll kind of do a little background. So the scheduling aspect came roughly, I want to say almost 15 years ago with a gentleman named David Cantu, who's actually our current CEO with Hot Schedules. So it was a project for his college class, and he was working at P.F. Chang's and developed the scheduling system that took off like crazy. So fast forward a few years, about 10 to 15 years, and just very recently, as I said, we've been merging with Fourth. So I was previously with Hot Schedules, did a lot of the compliance piece. We'll get into Fair Work Week and predictive scheduling, all of that fun stuff in the Pacific Northwest. And with our merger, we're now an end-to-end system from your applicant tracking, recruiting, talent management, ensuring that you have employee engagement along with compliance along the way, from everything from that first piece, including documentation that's uploaded, the whole way into your scheduling aspect, your inventory, recipes, everything is housed there. Even as far as your vendors are paid out, everything is on one single sign-on platform, so it's easier to manage your business instead of taking this time with different places and spending all these hours to try to be compliant when you have no analytics or data around it.
Yeah. How do you do your schedules, Jared?
We use a company called 7 Shifts, and that's been super helpful for us. You know, I'll tell you, I was at the a deal-making conference in Chicago. I sat on a panel about restaurant deal-making a couple weeks ago, and I heard a statistic that the restaurants have a 30% lower turnover rate with good onboarding systems. So when we talk about onboarding systems, we mean getting somebody into the computer, getting their paperwork done, doing all the legal stuff. And it seems kind of mundane, and it seems something like, especially when we were starting out, just like that you do in passing. But if you don't do it in a structured and organized way, employees, in fact, have less faith in your organization and don't want to be part of it as much. So the more organized you look, the more professional you look, the more, you know, the more likely they are to stay at your company. And turnover is a big thing in restaurants. And so if you have a high turnover rate, Costs you money, costs you time. It's a big headache.
How about you? You're on your game tonight, Jared. You slide over here. You do my job tonight because I think you're directing this in the direction that I'd like it to go, and this is a passion of yours as well too.
Absolutely.
Because those are all the hot points that you talk about. Brian, let's do this. One of the guys that we really like and love, he's on the phone right now. He was going to be with us here tonight. His name's Mark Whistler from the Goods Restaurant. Mark, do we have you?
Yeah, I'm here.
You're hot in the kitchen right now, aren't you?
Oh, my God, man. It has been one heck of a night, that's for sure. One heck of a day, all day.
Well, it's one heck of a lifetime, right? I mean, it never ends as a restaurant owner. And some of the staffing issues is what we're talking about right now. Mark, let me just throw the microphone to you because I think you're going to send us in the right direction as well. And you're unbelievably candid all the time. Can you tell us what some of your staffing issues are right now?
Yeah, so, I'm just going to give you kind of a little rundown just of the last 2 weeks. And the entire reason for this is just how present it is. In our kitchen, we had one guy who I put a lot of time and effort and money into training, who just completely disappeared off the reservation drinking for an entire week. But he was so good in the kitchen that I gave him a couple chances, including I actually let him stay in the restroom one night, and the next morning our property management company came in, and he was wasted, and he tried to fight, literally start a fight with the property manager. So here I'm already giving him a huge chance. I'm trying to, take care of this employee. I'm trying to make sure he's okay in his worst hour. And he, anyways, he showed up another night, still intoxicated, and I actually spent $200 for a hotel room for him, hoping that he would sober up, and he didn't. And we got to a point where I just had to say, if you come back, I have to call the police. Well, two weeks later, I got a phone call. He seemed clean and sober, and he was at his church, and yada, yada, yada. I bring him back. He's good for 1 week, and then all of a sudden he's back at it again and just completely disappears. And I think, the thing is that what I'm seeing more and more is I think it's partially because people don't have to worry about where they're going to find their next job. And even though kitchens and restaurants have always had problems with, obviously, drugs and alcohol and all the rest of the bad behavior, the issue is now what people are doing is that they don't care so much because they know that you need them, especially if they're really good, that you'll kind of excuse their bad behavior over and over and over. Moving forward, that just this past week on Sunday, I had to fire a kid in my kitchen who he was an hour late previous to Sunday on Saturday morning. And just before that, he had 2 no-call, no-shows, and I still allowed him to work at my restaurant. Right after that, I think it was actually it was either Sunday or Monday, he had a third no-call, no-show. And when I texted him and I said, hey, man, you no-called, you no-showed, you quit. He said, wait, that's not true. That's not fair. It's not my fault. I couldn't call. I was asleep. And I was just like, are you kidding me? You literally think that
he had a point, Mark. He had a point, man.
Or why you didn't call. And anyway, so then I said, it doesn't matter, man. You have 3 no-call, no-shows. And he said, no, that's not true. I only have 2 no-call, no-shows.
Yeah, I was high.
And it was like, what? One is enough. What planet are you on? And I think, again, there's a level of, there's a level of personal responsibility that a lot of people working in the restaurant environment are not accepting anymore because it's too easy to find another job and you can get away with murder. I think in a tougher economic climate where jobs are harder to find, you have to try harder to keep them. So one of the inherent consequences of a good economy is unfortunately people don't really feel a sense of job loyalty because they know that they can go get a job anywhere else tomorrow for more money. And Are you guys still there, by the way?
Oh, yeah. We're taking it all in, truly, Mark. One of the things that I identify with you, Mark, is your personal relationships that you have with folks, and I think you have to when you work so closely in a business to where you just want a good culture and a good family, Brian, of people together, and so you'll acquiesce to things that maybe you wouldn't in other situations. You'll put up with things that maybe you probably shouldn't. In Mark's case, and Jared, I know you develop personal relationships with employees as well, that you give them a little bit of rope longer than you probably should because of that. At the end of the day, finding quality employees. How about this, Mark? How about you have to ensure them that they have a 2-week schedule that's set, and if you don't have that, you'll get dinged. Would you like that, Mark, to have that same employee insured those hours on your schedule for the next 2 weeks? And then if they don't come through and follow through for you, that scheduling somebody in short notice that you'll have to pay them time and a half, would that be a good time for you, Mark?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I understand everything that you just said.
Well, we're gonna clear that up. Let's take a break right now. Mark Whitzler on the phone. Jared Leonard joining us from Stone Soup Collective here in Studio Kitchen, Colorado, along with Rebecca Berry. This is something we could spend 4 hours on. Truly, we could and probably should lend that much time to it. You heard, Jared, what Mark had to say. Rebecca, you heard what Mark had to say. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll respond to all of those things and say, is this just a Mark Whistler thing? Is it just that Mark is getting these types of employees, or is this something that's prevalent throughout the restaurant industry right now? And along with that, how about a wage increase for tipped employees? Wouldn't that be fun, Mark, to add to your expenses to take away from your bottom line? I don't think so. All right, we'll take a break. Studio Kitchen, Colorado, the Modern Eater Show, back in a flash right here on iHeartRadio.
Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Facebook for all the fun photos and videos. Just search The Modern Eater or check out the website, themoderneater.com.
Hi, my name's Christina Stumble, and I own Farm Girl Flowers in San Francisco. With my Spark Cash Card from Capital One, I earn unlimited 2% cash back on all my business purchases. Last year, I redeemed $115,000 in cash back. Yeah, $115,000. And that doubled our digital marketing budget for the summer. Thanks to my Spark Card, we had our best summer yet. Imagine what the Spark Card from Capital One could do for your business. What's in your wallet?
Real Capital One customers pay for real stories. Credit approval required.
Hi there, Saver. Looking for a Medicare plan to help you save on more than just prescriptions? Medicare Advantage plans may offer prescription drug, medical, and hospital coverage. Walgreens is a preferred network pharmacy with many Medicare Advantage plans, including United Healthcare. So when you enroll in a plan with Walgreens as your preferred pharmacy, you know you're saving smartly. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Other plans may be accepted.
Hey guys, Chris Johnson here, owner of Rome Sausage, your hyper-local source for all things sausage awesomeness. My family is proud to carry on the fine traditions of Rome's founder, Jerry Rome, by producing a variety of amazing sausage in small batches with an eye on quality, not quantity. Every batch is made here in the great state of Colorado by hand mixing spices, utilizing lean cuts of pork to make an outstanding product. Sourcing ingredients and materials locally, we are committed to supporting local vendors, chefs, restaurants, and the entire Colorado food scene. Getting hungry yet? Brats, Italian, breakfast, hot Polish, green chili, chicken apple, and the world's best chorizo. You can source all of our sausage through a variety of food service distributors. If your distributor doesn't carry it, call us. We'll come direct. You want a custom item? We'll do that too. Samples, and of course, sausage jokes, can be had by contacting me directly at chris@romesausage.com or by phone at 303-296-7663. The Modern Eater loves Rome Sausage, and I know you will too.
Wear black and eat spices. Hey, Modern Eater listeners, this is Zach from The Spice Guy, Colorado's favorite spice company. Spice is the variety of life. At The Spice Guy, we have a passion for sourcing the best ingredients from the best farmers all over the world. Choose from thousands of different GMO-free spices and ingredients, or Let us create and blend custom flavor profiles for whatever style of food it is that you're working with. With over 1,000 restaurants, food brands, and chefs behind us, you can't go wrong when you choose the Spice Guy for all your spice needs. The Spice Guy.
Spicy.
Born in Breck, raised in Denver.
TheSpiceGuyCo.com.
Listen up, barbecue lovers. Greg Hollenbach here for Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions. Proud Souls is Denver's authority of all things barbecue. Do you rule your neighborhood with the best backyard barbecue? From beginners to pit masters,
45 seconds until the rejoin.
Possibly want a variety of wood, pellet, and charcoal grills and smokers.
Yep, he's ready. He's on hold.
Owners of Proud Souls, Dan and Tony, have a passion for barbecue, and it shows. Located on 25th and Federal, Proud Souls retail store is bursting at the seams with your barbecuing essentials, the Spice Guy spices, and superior flavored fuels for your pit like hickory, mesquite, oak, pecan, cherry, apple, peach, maple, grape, and a variety of blends. Hit their website, Proud Souls BBQ.
15 seconds till the rejoin.
Hands-on barbecue classes and get information on current promotions and deals. For the best in barbecue, locally owned and operated on 25th and Federal, there are guys.
5 seconds till the rejoin.
Barbecue and Provisions. That's ProudSoulsBBQ.com.
Hi, this is Lori Midson. I'm a food hack, a.k.a. food writer.
Okay, thank you.
My line?
Try it.
Listening to the Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
I think it's better already. Live.
All right, we're back live from Studio Kitchen, Colorado, rejoined by Rebecca Berry and Jared Leonard. I was about to call you General. General.
General Leonard, I like that. I like that.
Do you like that?
I do.
We can do that. Mark Whistler on the phone. Let's bring Mark back up. Hey, Mark.
Yeah. Hey guys. How you doing? By the way, I have a few other things I'd like to add to.
I'll bet.
What I was just saying a moment ago, if you don't mind.
Sure. Do this for me because we need to be concise and other folks want to respond to what you had to say. But take 20 seconds to recap what you said about some of the issues that you're having with staffing, and then continue on with your other thoughts.
So at the end of the day, there's just a new sense of entitlement where people feel like they can do whatever they want and they're still going to have a job. And there's no sense of personal responsibility that there once was. And again, it comes down to a good economy, too many jobs, and people just don't have to care. But what I'd like to add to that as well is that we actually have this entire situation is being fueled by three separate things. One, it's being fueled by a good economy. Two, it's being fueled by rising minimum wage. And three, it's also being fueled by Donald Trump's immigration policy. And you're wondering how exactly does that tie in? Well, here's how it ties in. Through the overall removal of immigrant labor in our industry and many other industries similar to ours, the issue is that you have people who are willing to work for a little bit hard. They're willing to work a little harder for a little less. Yeah. And the removal of those people takes away a very strong check and balance to wage inflation and entitlement from the rest of the actual naturalized citizens.
Well, okay, so here's the deal. So it's the jobs American won't do. Okay, fine, get it. But it's pulled back the curtain right now to where there's an evening going on right now. There's an evening going on with restaurants. And I think it's catching up to restaurants to where the margins are just so slim to any adjustment in whether it's wages, food costs. It's going to hurt you so bad that it's going to be a problem. I think that instead of doing here's what the problem is because of what it was, is like, how do we challenge this going forward? And I think Rebecca Berry might have some solutions to that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the immigrant, it's a challenge, right, with what we're dealing with as we're speaking to labor and labor increases. A lot of the challenge we find, too, is keeping good talent and finding good talent. How do we do that and retain it? And that stems from culture, first of all, and reaching out to the right places and having a resource to be able to filter through and actually find the talent that you're looking for and need, who's wanting to come to work with you, who's wanting to be a part of the organization, who works for a group that can show career growth and where they want to stay. I mean,
Mark's rolling his eyes right now. He's just like, I want a warm body right now.
Yeah,
forget about. I mean, Mark, are you rolling your eyes when you hear that? Like, I'd love to even get to that point.
I actually totally agree with her. And one of the things that has created some difficulty in my restaurant is I will no longer accept just warm bodies. I want people who are good. I want people who are relatively sober. I want people who are looking at growing with us as a small independent restaurant that's trying to do some cool culinary stuff. And it is difficult to find that right person. But when we get them, we have to do everything right as well. And that's a big part of it. And I was just previous to when I came on, I was listening to your discussion about the onboarding process, and I couldn't agree more. Across the board, everything has to be seamless. But I think part of the issue is that there are corporates who have that capacity and ability, and they have the money to spend on people who do nothing but focus on that. But when you're a small independent restaurant and you have to wear 6 different hats, like the game is even more complicated. And I think really what we're about to see is probably the biggest phase in U.S. or for sure Colorado restaurant history, maybe with the exception of after 2008. But maybe this is the second biggest slew of restaurants just going out of business, and small independent restaurants.
How do we prevent that? Jared, Rebecca, let's jump in.
I think a lot of the things that you're talking about with building culture and retaining employees, Colorado we had the green rush here, right? So everybody moved here because weed was legal. And now a lot of those people are trying to find jobs, and they can't because they're, either they moved here for the wrong reasons. They're stoners. They didn't like the marijuana industry, so they go into the restaurant business because it's easy to get into, right? So how do you filter through all those people who are just doing it because it's accessible and easy to be hired and find the ones that are really good and then retain them? So I think there's a lot of people here that don't want professional jobs or aren't qualified for professional jobs, and so they're falling into the restaurant business for the wrong reasons. So weeding through all those people and finding the good ones who actually want to be in a restaurant because they're hard workers, or people who aren't qualified for professional jobs but accept like that restaurant work is good. It's not like a sentence. It's not bad. It's very, very hard. And if you don't realize that you're not going to make it and you're not going to be a good worker, it's not just like a fallback thing, though. It's not like, I can't do anything else. Let me work in a restaurant. And that's what we're seeing too much of.
Yeah, it's not a scarlet letter. I mean, it's a very respectable career and industry with a lot of growth opportunity. Rebecca, you've heard all of these things and their solutions to these things. A lot of it is you just want to save some money and increase your profits, and systems is what you're all about.
Yeah, and that's whether it's Fourth or whether it's any other system that you're looking at, there's a bunch of great other platforms out there. It's about having a partner you can trust, and a partner that can take the time to take that your business essentially and be trusted with it to develop. How are we going to create an algorithm to put it out there to find the right talent? How are we going to bring that talent on board? How are we going to have audit trails that you don't have to sit and manually scan your I-9s into a file so that when you get audited, you have to go run through and find them. You also need to find how you have performance reviews, how you have opportunities for career growth, like I said, the employee engagement where your managers can track things like you have one of your top people who is on time every day, they pick up extra shifts, who starts to kind of fall off, who starts showing up drunk at work, where you can document those things and be able to be proactive. We're in a very reactive state a lot of times, and so being proactive is key, and having that visibility on that platform to be able to do that and take that time off your hands. A lot of times, we're jumping over dollars to save pennies. What is your time worth? What is sitting and making a manual schedule for 6 hours worth of your time instead of coaching your employees or growing the business, opening a new location? As we speak to compliance and legislation, if we start having fair work week challenges and minimum wage increases.
First of all, just for you people who are like, what did you just say?
A lot.
Take 1 minute. Take 1 minute and talk about what that means to us.
Yeah, as far as the predictive scheduling and fair work week. So essentially, it's in a few areas right now. New York's a big one. San Francisco, the Pacific Northwest.
Where it's coming to Denver away.
It's coming quick, where you have to have your schedules made 2 weeks in advance. Now, it was created to help both employers and employees, but there's a fine balance. So your employees are able to, maybe they have 2 or 3 jobs. They're a dishwasher who handles multiple shifts, or somebody who's a single mom who needs to pick up her kids after work, to where it allows them to schedule ahead of time to plan their life. Now, the opposite side of that is when you're the employer, you get penalized if you change that schedule or if there's overtime. And we've seen a lot of it. There's a group I worked with in the Northwest that they're at the Husky Stadium. So they have the dates of the games for their employees that need to work, but they don't get the game time till the week before. That concept, I think it's like $20,000 a month that they end up having with penalty pay, where they have to pay out these fees, and there's nothing they can do. There's no loophole. There's nothing. And they're great organized owners, operators, but it's something that's out of their control. And we are slowly looking at getting that in Colorado, which is where, we want to take care of employees, but we need to push back on this because for business owners, it's too costly to stay open.
You'll work with folks on finding some solutions for those types of things?
We do. There's scheduling options, so you put the right people, the right place, the right time. You look at industry trends. You look at the trends of your sales on specific days, how the weather was. Our system can actually do that. We can calculate what the weather was a year ago, whether it was a holiday, whether it was an event, your 1-year opening anniversary, whether it was sunny, so you had more patio business. So there are other platforms that do that as well. We do all of that and tie it in so that it's a trend for you.
I say embrace it, Brian, using Google Sheets.
Yeah.
Just doing that, man. It sent me into a whole new, but being more organized, being together. We're going to do some long-form stuff. We're going to bring you back to the kitchen. We're going to talk in-depth and do an in-depth podcast. I'd love to have you join us, too, and Mark Whistler. We'll get a little symposium together, and we'll talk about these issues as well. I want to spend 20 seconds, each one of them. What can we do to get Mark a better employee in his restaurant right now so he's not working the line on a Saturday night? Jared.
Oh, what can we do to give him a better employee? I don't know, because I would keep whatever employee was better than what he needs. I got nothing for you as a owner to owner.
There
I wish
you go.
Well.
I can. Is there anything else?
I don't know. I was cooking pizza earlier today, and I played hooky to come here. So
that's right.
I'm in the same
Rebecca,
boat, brother.
Is there immediate just potion, panacea?
Coming from a different side, the business side versus in the actual kitchen side, really working on that coaching and documenting. And sometimes it's hard to have that conversation, but the coaching aspect right away, the forgiveness after 1 or 2 times, it's too much, and then you eventually lose that employee anyways, and it's damaging to the business.
Got it. Give out your email, how people can get a hold of
it. It is Rebecca, REBECCA.berry, like the fruit, BERRY, @fourth.com, or you can reach me at 720-436-8047.
Call her at 1 a.m.
Please don't. And it's www.fourth.com. Thanks, guys.
Jared Leonard, a lot of great things going on. You're providing great barbecue things for folks that don't want to cook for Thanksgiving. My mom is one of them. We're going to be a customer. And to be able to get AJ Barbecue Pit for your Thanksgiving needs, how do you get a hold of you?
Go to pitbarbecue.com. That's pitbarbq.com. We're doing smoked turkeys and hams and pies and all the fixins. I want to sneak in a quote I heard recently, though, about hiring and firing. That's going to sound obnoxious, but I'm really following it more and more. When you're hiring someone, you're literally guessing. Doesn't matter what their resume is. Doesn't matter where they've worked. You can vet them all you want, but you're still guessing on what stage of life they're in and how they're performing in current day, right? So hiring is easy. It's guessing. Firing is the important part, and that sounds mean and that sounds mean-spirited.
No, it is.
But when you don't fire someone when they deserve to be fired, it just drags out and it makes it worse for your entire organization. So we've kind of adopted that recently, where when somebody makes mistakes, we just tell them good luck, sorry, bring somebody new in and we'll train them. And that's exhausting. But then when you get a good team that sees like, hey, we're not messing around, we're going to fire you if you screw up. Sorry, because you made your own bed, you have to lie in it.
I agree.
Depends on the mistake, though, Jay Parker. Sorry to jump. It kind of depends on the mistake.
No, it
though.
doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Jay, you're fired.
No, you don't think so?
We're out of here.
It's
All right,
like,
coming up next, Tommyknocker Brewery and Steve Inderhouse and Cholaca. We want to know what to do with emulsified cocoa? You'll find out next, right here. Booze in the News next on the Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
Choose your through Cyberland.
Are you done with Mark?
On Instagram and Facebook for all the fun photos and just search The Modern Eater or check out the website, themoderneater.com.
You're in charge of hiring, and Indeed has solutions, like online skills tests, which let a candidate show that they're the right hire. And we give you this toy monkey, which will bang its cymbals when the right resume appears. Okay, there is no monkey.
I said there is no monkey!
But skills tests, that's a for sure.
See why independent research by Silk Road shows Indeed delivers 3 times more hires than any other job site. Visit Indeed.com/promo today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply.
Hi there, Saver. Looking for a Medicare plan to help you save on more than just prescriptions? Medicare Advantage plans may offer prescription drug, medical, and hospital coverage. Walgreens is a preferred network pharmacy with many Medicare Advantage plans, including United Healthcare. So when you enroll in a plan with Walgreens as your preferred pharmacy, you know you're saving smartly. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Other plans may be accepted.
Hey, Colorado chefs. Brian Freeman with Growers Organic and the Modern Eater Talk Show. Do you care about where your food comes from? I do. Do you want loyalty from customers who care about that as well? I can help by providing top quality organic produce with reliable delivery, knowledgeable sales team who genuinely care about how food is grown, transported, and served. Chefs, Growers Organic will ensure you have excellent ingredients for your next James Beard dinner, your nightly specials, or your regular menu items. Join the organic revolution and go organic with Growers Organic. Look us up online at growersorganic.com.
Hey, chef friends, it's Little Rich here from Raquelitas Tortillas. Raquelitas, known for hyper-local, innovative, and healthy tortillas and chips, served by Colorado's top chefs, and that's why we only use Colorado Mills sunflower oil. If you, too, want to serve the healthiest, most vibrant-tasting foods, you must use Colorado Mills. Colorado Mills is hyper-local, Colorado-grown, cold-pressed in Lamar, Colorado. Whether you bake, fry, or saute, get your Colorado Mills today. Available through Shamrock, Growers Organic, and Dawn Foods. For the best oil in the business, use Colorado Mills.
Okay, back to the show in just a minute. But right now, it is Jeff Rourke and A Plus Beverage Solutions.
Now it's time for...
Dude, I got to get my lives in.
My beer cold, my meat grilled, and my entertainment explosive.
All we need is a chair and a cooler beer.
Here's your booze news.
Extra hot.
Cool. All right. Booze in the news. All the booze news you can use in just a moment. But right now, Jeff Rourke and A Plus Beverage Solutions, family business, owned and operated 20 years. This guy, he installs the best tap lines ever.
I love Jeff Rourke.
You're making sure that the integrity of your tap lines is the way that the brewer intended their beer to taste. That's important. There are some nasty, yucky tap lines out there. You're pouring warm beer, you got foam, it's all tainted, it's not good. You can call Jeff Rourke. It's easy, making your tap dreams reality. He just finished a big project at Monarch Casino. Running lines of glycol down a huge
miles long.
It's so much, but you want to have the best installed. Jeff Rourke and A Plus Beverage Solutions. He's a phone call away. 720-272-3809. I know you're never ready.
One more time.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, call the man. He can make this happen for you. You want to add a water line, a nitro line, you want to get your glycol system. Steve, you work with a lot of beer, right?
Yeah.
How important is it that your draft beer is pouring the way it should?
Ultimately important.
If you're pouring inefficient beer, boys, what are you doing?
You're pouring your money down the drain.
Don't pour your money down the drain. Here's the number, 720-272-3809. Jeff Rourke and A Plus Beverage Solutions.
I'm calling him tomorrow.
You've got coffee. We're back on this show. That's the voice of Ira. Ira, how are you?
I'm doing really well. Thank you for having me on your show. I love this place.
This is cool, man. Studio Kitchen, Colorado.
Love it.
Cholaca.
Cholaca.
This is, breweries need to listen up right now.
Yes, they do.
Right? Steve, you listened.
Oh, yes.
Steve, Tommyknocker Brewery. I'm not even going to, Steve Enderhaus, that's how your name is pronounced to me, but how is it really pronounced?
Indrihus.
Indrihus.
Yeah.
I like that better, and I'll get it. And once I get it, it's forever there.
Around
guys,
our neck of the woods, he's Steve I.
Yeah. Steve I. Now, you guys have a relationship together, right?
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
What is that relationship?
Well, Steve and I met probably about 3 years ago as we started getting into the brewery business with Cholaca, which was an odd thing.
What is Cholaca?
Cholaca is pure liquid cacao. And what we've done is we've developed a process to liquefy cacao or cocoa or the product before it becomes chocolate and emulsify it with water. And that's something that apparently nobody had done.
Well, so you said, these are your words. This is proprietary.
Sure.
It's not?
Yes.
So this is your deal. Nobody else can mess with this.
There's nobody else doing anything quite like this.
I like it a lot. So what are the different types of Chakalaka that you can have?
Cholaca, well, we have here this product here that you're seeing on the camera and over the radio has 2 ingredients in it, which is cacao and water. And that is our base product, and that is primarily what we use around the brewing industry. We also have different levels of sweetness that we promote in some of the retail arenas. And now this one here, which I'm holding up.
Yeah, describe it.
This is a 2.5-ounce shot of slightly sweetened Cholaca with 25 milligrams of CBD in it.
Of course it is.
It just so happens that Cholaca happens to be the ideal carrier for CBD in the food world.
Interesting. And you drink that with half and half.
I do. I
know you do, man.
It's really good with half and half.
I'm dying to try that. I got to tell you.
Crack it open.
Let's
go
crack
take
it
a
open.
swig.
So now we're into the world of, for us, beer is important. You're in the booze in the news segment, so we'll dial in on that right now. You've got a perfect ingredient for brewers like Steve to take and automatically implement into a beer recipe.
Turns out Cholaca was really good for making beer.
Would you testify to that?
It's a lot easier than the other forms people are trying to use to get cocoa or chocolate profile in the beer.
Like what? What would you do? Throw a Hershey bar into your mash?
You can't do that for other, but nibs or extracts, powders. We were using powder before we discovered Cholaca, and it was the ease of use for Cholaca is just way above and beyond any other product.
Now listen up. Can we use that for him for marketing?
Yeah.
The ease of use.
Ease of use. I'll make a note of that one.
Yeah.
Ease of use. Well, expand upon that, the ease of use.
All right. So in the brewing world, I don't know if you've got a bunch of brewers that are out there listening. And Steve can probably attest to this, but in the world of adding chocolate flavoring into primarily dark beers, which they're porters or stouts or what have you, they would typically take some nibs or some powders and they would add them into their fermentation tank, leave them there for a week or two, and you hope that what comes out the other side is exactly what you're looking for. When I would ask a brewer, I said, do you know what you're extracting out of that cocoa? And they'd say, no, Ira, what? I say, I don't have a darn clue what you're extracting, but I don't know if it's particularly what you're looking for. With Cholaca, we have pasteurized this product, we have liquefied it, and made an opportunity for brewers like Steve to add Cholaca in on the cold side, which is post-fermentation, to get a consistent flavor profile from batch to batch, and that's something they haven't been able to achieve up until now.
Consistency's key, Steve.
Key. And we started out trying to source out the best quality powders. I was actually getting Ziploc bags sent from Venezuela. But every year it was different. Every batch was different. Clumping, trying to get it in, you had to go hot side, and you just lost something. There was an element lost where this retains that essence that you would lose.
Steve,
otherwise.
we do have a lot of viewers out there. You want to be careful about talking about Ziploc baggies.
Yeah, and we don't
coming
want
from
that
Venezuela.
We don't want the cut Cholaca either. We want the good stuff.
So speaking of the good stuff, in order to make Cholaca, it requires the best cacao on the planet. That's just the way it is. When we use lesser qualities, all of a sudden, for lack of a better term, it comes out tasting like dirty diapers. I kid you not. So protecting our supply chain and finding the right cacao that's been processed in the right way is something that we need to do in order to make this product as good as it is.
Ira, you're a pro. 20 seconds. Why should brewers look you up and talk to you about this?
It's a higher quality, it's easier to use, and it's more consistent from batch to batch.
That's all you need to do, because every brewer that I know wants to have a delicious chocolate-tasting beer.
So at the end of the day, a lot of these brewers, they're working very hard. I get complaints all the times that we've turned into glorified janitors. They're cleaning up all the time. They didn't want to do it anymore. So we've eliminated that. There's a lot less labor that goes on. And you put all those things together, and we're now pushing almost 2,000 breweries that we're in.
Cholaca.com. Check them out. Steve, you know we love you. You'll be back many times, Ira. Thank you.
Sure
Jay Parker, Brian Freeman, Kenyon George, Dave Avery, Rich Snyder, myself, Greg Hollenbeck. We'll see you next week. Studio Kitchen, Colorado, the Modern Eater Show.
Some guys are okay with the setting. Other guys just want to get fit. That's why they use Gold Bond Men's Lotion. Intensive moisturizers and skin strengthening proteins. It's